It's significant because it's the second time that happened since this war started. We have to remember that 300 missiles were shot from Iran to Israel in April. The situation is not as complicated as everybody is saying, because at the end of the day, what happened last time is the same that happened now. A lot of missiles shot down with a very low amount of casualties and very low impact. And with the declaration of Iran that they don't want to escalate, they don't want to increase the level of violence with Israel or engagement with Israel, and they don't want to engage in a military war with the United States. So it seems that if Israel considered that this is enough because of what happened with the killing of Nasrallah and Haniyeh, maybe we cannot see a bigger escalation. But it all depends on how Netanyahu now or the Israeli government will react to this attack.
Well, I understand Benjamin Netanyahu has said Iran will pay for the missile attack. How so?
Well, if we continue this way, this is a battle of retaliations. Everybody's retaliating for what happened. It's difficult to say who started this, but at the end of the day, if nobody is stopping what is going on, of course, we will reach a position in which there will be no way back. This expansion of the conflict that everybody wanted to prevent a few months ago is already here, with the fights in West Bank, fighting in Lebanon, in Yemen and Iran. So I assume that everybody realized that it's impossible now to say that they don't want the expansion, or Biden or the European leaders asking for restraint. This is not happening. So as far as there is no solution for the first problem that generated all this mess, which is the situation in Gaza, it will be very difficult to consider that de-escalation is possible. The problem is with all these things that they are happening around in Lebanon, Yemen, and Iran. Everybody seems to have forgotten that there is no peace negotiations in Gaza, that the people keeps dying, that there is no progress in that front either.
Well, the retaliation, despite all of this talk, continues. Iran says its response will be even greater if Israel returns fire. But so far, Tehran hasn't been able to penetrate Israel's highly sophisticated air defense system.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, yesterday at least, I think that there are several casualties that they took that happened, and the missiles, some of them reached ground, which did not happen in April. Again, we don't know how much Iran can do. Moreover, considering that there is a combination of countries that they are protecting Israel, but for how long this umbrella can protect Israel is very difficult to say. Only one missile is crossing that ironclad barrier, can reach in a place that can produce a lot of casualties. So far, Iran is trying to target the military bases, not civilian population. Hopefully, if this continues, will continue this way and not reaching the civil population to avoid an unnecessary casualties. And we don't know exactly how many missiles still has. Some reports claim that they had around 3,000, that the inventory is around 3,000, around 500, and they already shot 500 in these two attacks to Israel. So for how long they can keep this kind of retaliations is also difficult to say.
How severely weakened is Hezbollah, and do you think that's one of the reasons why Iran has had to step up its own response, because of Hezbollah being somewhat weakened?
Well, it is true that Hezbollah has been weakened, at least the communications, the logistics, and many aspects now. They have to do with the missile launching, considering that Israel is entering in the south and they are trying to dismantle all the infrastructure. But in terms of manpower, in terms of organization, Hezbollah is as strong as it was before. I mean, we have to remember that since 2006, when Israel tried to eliminate Hezbollah or destroy Hezbollah, it has been rearmed and reorganized. And before 7th of October, it was much more stronger than it was in 2006. So it will be much more complicated for Israel right now to do what they did in 2006, and moreover, considering that there is much more experience in the battle on the south of Lebanon. I mean, they are much more prepared than 20 years ago. So weakening Hezbollah is going to be a little bit difficult. And the support from Iran continues. And the support from Iran and Syria will continue there. The way Iran can confront more directly Israel is through Hezbollah, through the Houthis. So it's maybe the best tool or the best mechanism can use to weaken or to at least to threaten or to harm Israel. I mean, Hezbollah's attacks are showing that there is more effectiveness than the Iranian ones. At least they force, I think, 100,000 Israelis to leave their homes. And this is the idea behind moving Hezbollah beyond the Litani River to allow Israelis to come back to their homes. So this is putting much more pressure than the Iranian missiles right now.
We're currently hearing reports of direct clashes between the IDF and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Are you surprised by this? Israel had said that it wouldn't be advancing towards Beirut, but the increase in fighting there, what do you make of that?
Well, we keep hearing very contradictory reports. Yesterday, while Israel was saying that they entered the south of Lebanon, Hezbollah kept denying that this happened. So we have this report now that there are direct clashes. We don't know where are these clashes, if they are very close to the border or not. If as soon as Israelis are entering Lebanon, if Hezbollah is retrieving or withdrawing from the places, leaving the empty place. So in some places, I assume that these clashes can happen if the advance of the Israeli troops are finding Hezbollah militants in between. So I think it's unavoidable that this happen. How long or how many casualties it produce in each side is also a matter of time to realize.
Going back to Iran, how real is the threat of Tehran building and using a nuclear weapon? How advanced is that technology? What is the possibility of this eventuating?
Well, I mean, first of all, I don't think that they would ever dare to use a nuclear device in this context, neither in the Gulf nor in Gaza, because if they do it in Israel, they will destroy what they say they want to protect. How close they are, I think they are still very far from doing so. And more important, so far they haven't declared that they want to do it. I mean, a few months ago they declared that they may revise the nuclear doctrine, claiming that they might consider to reach the threshold level of uranium enrichment in order to be able to produce it if there is a threat that justifies that. But so far, the doctrine, nuclear doctrine of Iran is not stockpiling and producing nuclear weapons. It doesn't say anything, this doctrine, about not producing technologically the necessary materials to produce the nuclear device. But not producing a nuclear device is something that so far it is sustained by all sectors of all factions of the political elite.
Meanwhile, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian is expected to make a speech in the next few hours in Qatar, I understand. What's he likely to say?
Well, I assume that he will reaffirm the Iranian right to defend themselves, and that this attack was not an offensive against Israel, but a retaliatory attack, that Iran is considered that this attack is over, that they don't want to escalate, and that they want to give enough guarantees to the rest of the GCC states that the Iranian involvement with Israel through proxies or directly will not harm or has nothing to do with the relations they have with the GCC states.
Just finally, how could the regional order in the Middle East be affected or be shifted by the war that's going on in Lebanon, in Gaza? What is Iran's place in all of this?
Well, first of all, the regional order is already checked. How is it going to be at the end of this war? When is it going to happen this end of the war? honestly, it's very difficult to predict. But first of all, we realize that nobody's following any kind of international law. All the actors committed to some extent some violations of the international law, and there is no power that can prevent this to happen in any side. What Israel is doing, attacking many countries or targeting different capitals, is something that in any other case it would create or it would produce a serious reply from the international community. This is not happening. So what kind of regional order we will have? It seems that we will have an order in which the hard power and the military power will become again the most important tool to survive as a political regime, as a country, and to extend or expand the influence beyond their own country or beyond their own region. Who is the most powerful one so far is Israel, proved that is surviving all the attacks, and the only actor that has a very big international support, unlikely the other regional actors like Iran. Iran is basically alone. This, as a state actor, is the only one that dare to confront directly Israel, shooting missiles from their own territory. Nobody else in the region is able to do that. Nobody else is willing to do that.
Dr. Luciano Zaccara, really good to get your views. Thanks so much for your time.